Well, good morning, and good morning. Yes, I am back to saying everything that's important to me in threes. I don't know what it is. Don't ask. Just go with me, okay? Hi, everybody. How are you? And welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Loren Michaels Harris, and as you all know, oh, hallelujah! It is Hump Day, Wednesday. What's going on in your neck of the woods? We made it halfway through this week. Today's date is the 19th. We are over the meridian line of the halfway point of this month, which means yes, next month you have one more month to get on all of those goals that you have set to accomplish in Q1 of 2020. Now, you know, everybody and their brothers got something about, 2020 vision, 2020. I even did something on it. But you know what? I don't care if it's 2020 or 90-20 or 40-50 or whatever. I don't care about the roaring 20s and this and the other. If you're not actionable, it's just another day. It's just another number. We don't want to just live our days like any other day. So I want you to go back to wherever you stuck that post-it note, wherever you journaled that all these big things you were going to do in the first quarter of 2020, and do a status check, won't you? Do a status check. See if you're in line with what you told yourself, what you promised yourself. Now, I'm not a proponent of lying, but I will say this: if you just gotta lie, okay, you can't help yourself. You just gotta lie. Lie to everybody else. Just don't lie to yourself. You do that, it's over. If you don't lie to yourself, you still have a chance. Okay, so think about that. I'm gonna check back in with you guys every day between now and March 1st to make sure you are, following through. So first of all, I want to say congratulations to everybody who made it here this morning. I see Lori Whitney, Robert Booker. I love you, man. You're a diehard fan. I love you all the way from Canada, and the rest of you, Tamala Valley. Hi, girl. What's up with you? Miss your face. Kiss those kids for me. Everyone, guess what? We are live, LIVE, streaming across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Periscope, and of course, our family over at E360 TV Live. And I want to say a personal thank you to our sponsor for the past 2 weeks, Personal Victory Counseling, where you'll find Dr. Brian Rybczynski and his team are doing their very best to help people every day become triumphant over life's little challenges. You can reach them at 630 area code 375-7416, or simply catch them on the web at personalvictory.com. So thank you to Personal Victory. Welcome to the show. My sidekick, you know, this is my best girl. Hey, girl. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. And today we are drinking on some gingerbread. And my first sip, I promise. Hold on. Nope, not even close to gingerbread. But it smells like gingerbread. And we've already established here that flavored coffees don't taste like what they say. They only smell like it. So, big day today here on Bathrobe Moments. I have a guest that's never been here. I couldn't tell you for the life of me how I found him, but I'm glad I did, because I decided in this fourth season of Bathrobe Moments, and since we're streaming to, at a minimum 250,000 screens every morning, that I was going to get out there and become a gumshoe and look for people that I felt we all need to know. And I found one. I really did. This guy is a number one best-selling author, but everybody that comes on here claims that. So that's no new one. But he is a life coach. Oh, wait. Everybody that comes on here is a coach. So that's no new one. He's a radio host. Yeah, we've had those here too. Aha. He's an actor. That's someone we don't have on here very often. And here's a first timer, unless they just didn't tell me. Anyway, filmmaker, TEDx speaker. This one I know. Wait a minute. I think I did have one. A four-time Ironman triathlete, but I don't think it was four-time. I think it was three. That guy that ran across America, you guys remember him? And then cross-country cyclist, bicyclist, bicyclist. I don't know. He rode a thing with two wheels across cross country. I'm assuming. So that's a new one. And here's the great thing. I love this is one of my favorite book titles for 2020 so far. Seriously. Habits for Success, Inspired Ideas to Help You Soar. I promise you, if I was going through Barnes and Noble, and that's my favorite thing to do. That's why I like bookstores and not just ordering on Amazon. I like to pull books off the shelves and hold them and look at the cover and feel the spine and open the dust cover and read the inside and flip it over. I do all that. And this I know is definitely a title that would catch my eye and I'd pull it off the shelf. So we're going to talk about that. I'm speaking of a guy by the name of G. Period. Brian Benson. And we're going to run a little contest. So here's the deal. I have a swag bag of goodies left over from my event this weekend. Discover the Author and Speaker in You, a swag bag that has about $250 worth of goodies stuffed in it. I am going to send that to the person that puts on the screen this morning, and we're going to find out later in the show if anybody gets it. His name is G. Period Brian Benson. What do you think the G stands for? Go. So, and don't try to Google and find it because I already did. It's nowhere out there. So, I almost had it, but when I called his grandmother, I got her voicemail. I was trying to get it, but I couldn't. Listen, one more thing before we get him in here, because I think I'm going to use my ringing finger today quite a bit. You guys remember this? This is new this season. It is the bell of purpose. What it means is we obviously words of truth are missing a lot of people in this world. So I'm going to do my best to stop traffic when our guest lays down something I believe we all need to pick up. I'm hitting the bell of purpose. That's your cue to get interactive, to suddenly, automatically become a part of something greater than yourself. That means you start by hitting the emojis, the hearts, the love. You let our guests know I'm feeling what you're giving. I'm picking it up and I'm taking it. And this would be a great time to do something. How do you get out of your own way? How do you help others? When you start hearing this bell ring, it means we're on a roll. Invite people, share it. Get them in here. If you are responsible for somebody coming and joining this, or even later in the replay, hearing that one word that has been strategically blessed to be placed in the specific spot to land on their ear and in their heart, and it changes their life. Trust me, one day you're going to know what you were a part of. You're going to be seeing that. You're going to see that in what I refer to as that beautiful bean footage that's going to be played, that trailer of our lives, of our good deeds. You're going to see that one day. So when you hear the bell, get out there and send this out and tell somebody to come and join us, right? You could change your life. So enough about me. I've got some clips to show you guys. So why don't I start before I bring the guest in? Why don't we do that? Why don't I start by bringing in one of the pieces I found on his website. And I love this guy's website too. You got to get over there to gbrianbenson.com and take a look at what he's doing. This one, okay, let's start with this one. This one, it's short, so bear with me. It's a minute and 39 seconds. This was my favorite one with him where you actually get to see him. It's called How Powerful Is Your Voice? And it's spoken word inspiration. And I just love it. So here we go. Take a look at this. You know I'm not techie, you guys. Wait a minute. I don't want you to miss any, so hold on. Okay, there we go.
Words vibrate lifted to create a loving bond. Your voice can be your freedom, or your voice can be your hell. Mindful heed in word and thought send forth love and light to gel. Your voice can give permission to another seeking truth. Authentic, centered living taps into eternal youth. Your voice can be the difference to set a young child free. Loving words to encourage, a model for them to be. Your voice is your ready key to unlock your truthful worth. Spoken pure, life now renewed, energized, loving, rebirth. Your voice gives inspiration to those afraid to speak. Reassuring tones shared true helps others gain their peak. Your voice is a kindred link, once spoken face to face. True connection, eyes unite, before texting took its place. Your voice is your true freedom, when it's spoken from the heart. Intuition's guiding path helps you play your destined part. And your voice is fundamental for all life and love to flow. Empowered, valued, perfect.
Okay.
Painting a worldly glow.
Really? Okay. 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 All right, everybody. I can hear you. I'm talking to our guest, you guys. Everybody's like, Loren, no. uh, listen, you guys. Our guest is actually in North Carolina, up in a wooded area. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Wi-Fi there, but we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna bring him in here, actually now, so you guys know how it works. Our guest is gonna be in the air, broken into a million tiny pieces, just like Mike TV from Willy Wonka, and then he's gonna quickly get put together on the screen. So he on his way, somewhere traveling over Southwest right now. And we're gonna say it's better when I connect. When he was sitting in the room, he was in my ear telling me, oh, and that Brian, are you on your phone? So that's even I see it like that. When it gets over, I do see this over on the live stream actually. And I'm waiting for you to come to peace. Oh, right. It's working through. It's the strangest thing, this stuff. But it says that it is sending you over, so let's just wait. You'll pop in eventually. Now, I don't think they can hear you, Brian, but they can hear me. They can always hear me.
Oh,
I
they
know.
can't hear me. Oh boy.
I don't think they can hear you. Oh, there you are. You're here. You made it.
Hey.
Okay, so now you're over. Now here's the next part. you're I see you on the stream output, which means in about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you're gonna actually on my phone. Oh, there you. Oh, you look good. Oh, and now I'm gonna turn it up. Wait a minute. Say something.
Say something. Good morning. How's it going, everybody?
Oh yeah, you sound good over there in the real live stream. I don't know what it is. What you and I were looking at on the screen is like, but then over there where it's actually broadcasting is as smooth as can be.
Okay. Well,
And that's
you're kind of spotty, so I'll do my best to to answer what you say. I mean, I can kind of hear what you're saying, but as long
okay.
as everybody else is good, we're good. We'll give it a try.
Yeah. So like if I just said that, what did it sound like? Oh. So
What?
so you're getting a delay.
Interesting. I mean, I can hear you. You know, you said I'm getting a delay, huh? So I know earlier I heard that you have a contest about trying to figure out what the G stands for. That'll be interesting.
I think I know.
Oh, all of a sudden I can see you. You're moving now.
Oh, really? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we're like normal.
Oh, good. I said
Yay!
I think I know what the G stands for.
Well, actually, it kind of depends on the day of the week. So it's like balance. It's a moving target. But
Mm. Well,
but
you want to hear?
I'll
You
come
want to hear
clean.
you want to hear my theory? Oh, hi Christina Cash. How are you? Christina Cash of Johnny Cash Legacy. How are you? Nice to see you here. You know what? I'm giving you a dirty email because I miss you and I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. Shelly Dale, Mandy Kika. I always say her name wrong and she gets on me. Welcome to all of you. If you just joined me, it doesn't matter if you're late because you're here when you're supposed to be. And right now, we're about to get
That's
this
right.
party started with
Yeah.
G. Brian Benson, who I think his mother was in labor. She was laying up and she heard, are we really laying here in this lonely game we play? That's my impersonation of George
George
Benson.
Benson. Yeah, that's right.
So, because he imagine if he was trying to do what he does for a living and he goes, "My name is George Brian Benson," or even that, you're gonna be like, "George Benson, get out of here." That's like saying you're Michael Jackson. So I believe it's the G stands for George. So if so nobody can take that one. You got to find your own G, and I win the swag bag if I'm right. But I'll donate it to one of you if I am right. So we want to know what you think the G in G Brian Benson stands for. I just took the easiest one. So welcome everybody. If you didn't know before, you're going to know now. Number one best-selling author. He it has a book, and I'm going to stick that up on the screen a little later. The book
Hmm.
is called Habits for Success: Inspired Ideas to Help You Soar. Now, let's start there, Brian. G.
Yeah.
I should just call you Brian. Let's start there. Introduce yourself. Say hey to everybody. Tell them where you live and where you actually are, and
Yeah.
then let's start with the book.
Sure. Good morning, and thank you for having me, by the way.
Cheers.
Um, I am from Oregon originally. I currently live in Los Angeles. However, the last week I have been in North Carolina. And so you
Okay.
got me here in North Carolina. Yep. Hot
It loo-
damn.
it looks like you're in like a great cabin.
What it is a really, really, my friend has a really nice cabin. And yeah, it's been
Wow.
very relaxing.
Now, is there snow there?
No, it's been pretty cold though, and they're maybe expecting snow tomorrow.
Really?
So yeah.
So I imagine there's some balcony or place where you step out and you see all these trees and you I mean, is there water near there? I'm just trying to get a feel
Yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah. No,
situation.
no. It's very, very. It's beautiful. I mean, all the trees are pretty barren right now because it's the winter. But it's
Oh,
about 30 miles outside of Asheville,
are you
little
mountains? Any mountains?
southeast. Oh yeah, yeah. It's near Chimney Rock, and there's a bunch of mountains kind of in this area. It's kind of adjacent to the Blue Ridge Mountains,
Okay.
and so yeah, it's on the uh, northwestern part of the state.
Well, you and I are in similar settings, motifs, not outside but inside,
Yeah,
because if you look around me in here, see Moose Crossing and stuff,
yeah,
Moose
yeah,
Creek,
yeah.
because this is our Northwoods bedroom, because our lake house has a theme of Northwoods, and every time it gets remodeled, all that stuff comes here. And so
Nice.
anyway, I'm in the north,
Yeah,
so we're kind of in the same, you know.
you can never go wrong with nature.
That's right. Now we got a
Then
lot to talk about. A
yes, we do.
lot. Four-time Ironman triathlete, cross-country cyclist. You're a filmmaker, TEDx speaker, actor, radio host, life coach, and a best-selling author. But I want, first of all, I am just totally in love, and I'm ordering this book today.
Thank you.
Habits for Success: Inspired Ideas, which caught me, to help you soar. The second best part of that. And I know
Yeah.
how important it is to have a great title, but even more important to stand behind that title and bring the goods in
Yeah.
between the dust covers. So tell us about this book, how you got to finding this, choosing this title, and what can a person expect when they dive into this?
Well, thank you. So it's basically 10 years ago, I left my family and business really, truly into the unknown. And I did not know what I was going to do. I just knew that I felt like I had stopped growing there. And I was a little bit burnt out. And I felt like I had this gift inside me that wanted to come out, although I didn't know what it was, but I needed to try. And so I told my dad. He was understanding. He gave me his blessing. I would have left anyways, but that I ended up having to stay an extra year because we decided to sell it. So that last year was tough. I've always tried to be the best version of myself. One day I was feeling pretty out of balance, so I sat down and wrote down a handful of things that I felt would help me during that period. They did. My intuition screamed, expand the list and write a book, and I'd never written anything before, but I did that, and so that kind of kicked off this crazy journey I've been on the last 10 years. Um, stepping out of my comfort zone. I was terrified to speak in front of people when my first book came out, but it won a couple of awards. And so I knew if I wanted to share its message, I needed to work on that. So I did a whole bunch of things like Toastmasters for a year. I did a couple of community college speech classes. I hired someone to co-host an internet radio show with me. I created a workshop. I took an acting class. A lot of things that I didn't really know why I was doing. I just felt like it would help me. And
Yeah.
so 10 years later, this book, Habits for Success, is kind of a culmination of me sitting in the observer's perch of my own self-growth process, paying attention to what has worked for me and what I feel could really help other people. And, I'm not here, I don't really try to ever tell anybody what to do. I just try to share and lead by example because I'm working on me too. And I'm really proud of how the book turned out. It pinch me again. It won an award about 6 months ago, and so I'm really proud of how it turned out. And it's full
Yeah.
of there's 48 chapters in there. There's all kinds of things that just kind of make you think. And some people might already be doing some of them, some might not. So it's one of those things you can kind of crack open any given day and find something that just like just to kind of throw a little inspiration your way. Or I tried to make it interesting and inspiring too. There's a lot of stories in there as well, personal stories, and so it's kind of a combination of entertaining, inspiring, and thought provoking.
So who's this book written for?
You know, I think we're all very similar. We all have a lot in common. We all want ultimately to love and be loved, and I think since we're all here learning and growing, ultimately the toughest thing I think that we have to do is to learn how to love and accept ourselves first. Because once we can do that, I think everything else starts to kind of fall into place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this book is for, I don't want to say anybody, but it really is for anybody because there's so many different aspects of it and so many different chapters in there
Okay.
that can
What I'm
touch,
gonna
yeah, talk to me,
here I'm gonna make this easy because this is a
please.
good one. You're gonna love this. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say I wrote this book for anybody who fill in the
Yeah.
blank. Who
I,
is who is
who is searching for their true purpose, who is learning how to love and accept themselves more, who is wanting to just get a little jump start in feeling better about their life, who needs a few just some inspiration, seeing someone else who has gone before them doing some of the things that they want to do. This book is for anyone who wants to learn how to step out of their comfort zone, because
ah
I think we all do. This book is for
yes.
anyone who just wants to just be in this world in a more fulfilled manner.
There you go. And now you know
Yeah.
why that was so important to me to get that out
Yeah.
there and get that from your mouth because they have to hear from you because
Sure.
they hear me chattering every day, Monday through Friday. They do. And what I love about you is now this is another part of the setup. So one of your pieces of your brand is your life coaching. Now, you are you self-taught?
No, I went through a program 10 years ago, but I mean, I've done the work myself
So,
and all these different things, whether it's the triathlons or the stepping out of the comfort zone or the acting classes. I mean, I'm constantly becoming more and more self-aware.
right.
And
Now,
I've
wait a
also
minute.
lived a lot of life too
You
and
did.
gone through tough things. I mean, the parents divorced. I've been through a divorce. I've had many different, knee surgeries and other things I've had to recover from. I'm dealing with prostate cancer right now.
Oh
Um, you know,
yeah.
I've unfortunately had to deal with suicide 5 times. So I've lived life.
Oh,
And
oh,
yeah.
we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You just gave me three more things. Listen, the reason I asked that because even though, yeah, I know you 10 years ago was at the beginning of your career. And
Yeah.
yeah, you
I'm
knocked on
I'm
a
a
door.
different person now.
Right. But
Yeah.
your coaching, I know because I went in and I looked at all your stuff. I did. I did a deep dive. And and I know when I see things and I hear that ring of truth, that silent dog whistle of purpose, that yeah, but I reason I'm going there is because you're a great example. You and I are very similar in a lot of ways. And even though there are those places you can go to get the organized training, if you will, for life
Right.
coaching, the truth of what you do to change and impact people's lives, you can't be taught it. You get taught all right, but you get taught through experience
Yeah.
because because of a certificate does not make you an authority. It doesn't.
No.
It means coming out the other side of the experience, speaking from a place of hard drive, not thumb drive. When you downloaded it from some other place. No, it was download.
Vulnerability. Yeah.
Yes, downloaded into your spirit because you came out of it and you still are. That's why I don't know you guys out there and put something up on the screen right now because even the way you said, I'm dealing with prostate cancer right now. Now, some people would have used that for a reason or an excuse, if you will, to not show up today, to not show up every day, to just not show up. I have a right to stay in bed. I'm dealing with prostate cancer. But the way that you were able to say it, that's why you're going to win. And that's why that's so important to me to tell people. And I want you to talk about it. Look at how, what I love when I looked at your history, it's
Mm.
like you lay these planks, these tiles out. You keep laying these tiles out, creating a beautiful mosaic, a platform in which to work from. And
Thank
then
you.
you get it. You get it that in order for those tiles to stay in place, you give away everything that is the gift and that provides. And then those people, all of you watching, all of you bring people like us the grout that now locks each one of those
Mm.
experiences we've lived into
Mm.
place so that the
Mm.
mosaic can stay in place, called legacy. So tell
Thank
us,
you. Thank you.
yeah, truly, truly, 10 years you're doing this. When you started 10 years ago, Brian, what was the picture you saw of what it was you thought this would be, and how different is the reality of that picture today?
Well, it's been very interesting. When I was 3, I told my mom I was put here to inspire people, and she reminded me after the first book came out. And so, in some ways, it was kind of interesting, maybe that I've kind of subconsciously known what I was kind of put here to do. And I feel like I just want to, like I said earlier, be a living example for others. And all my um, projects, the books, the short films, the spoken word pieces, et cetera, are all just extensions of my own self growth process. And have messages and sometimes in an entertaining way, but yet they're all meant to kind of just be higher vibrational.
Uh-huh.
And so what do you ask me? How have I changed? Is
I
that
want to know basically.
I digressed.
That's okay. No, because well, I'm gonna shoot over to what I'm seeing on the screen, some of the comments and whatnot, and this is what's interesting. When you said, I'm dealing with prostate cancer right now,
Yeah.
there's sending prayers, this and the other,
Thank you.
but
Thank you.
and that's appreciated. But talk about today. You get up and you face a different day every day. You started this 10 years ago. I know it's just like me. I thought I knew what it was going to look like and feel like, and it's
Yeah.
evolved.
Yeah.
There you go.
So for
Something
me,
different.
yeah, well, it's similar but kind of different. I initially every time I would release something, since I really have always I know where this is headed, and so sometimes when I would release something, my expectations would be too high, and I would think, is this the thing that's going to spring me? And then it did well in certain ways, and it did what it was supposed to do, but it brought me unhappiness because of my expectations. And so I've had to learn a lot through this whole journey. In this last 10 years, I've just been continuing to solidify my foundation to be ready to do it on a much bigger scale,
Hmm.
because I've really had to learn how to love and accept myself too
Mm.
along the way. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. It hasn't all just been really easy. I've been learning and growing every step of the way, but they're all blessings. As far as the prostate cancer goes, I was diagnosed 8 weeks ago, and they caught it early, and everything should be fine. I'm going to have surgery here pretty soon. I guess I just maybe I'm naive. I don't think so, but I'm just kind of treating it like knee surgery or something, right?
Hmm. Absolutely.
And so I'm still me. I'm still going to be me. I'm still doing life, right?
Right.
Um,
You know, I see and I get it. I get when you're sitting there and you're saying this thing, and I see where your eyes are going and the entire disposition. And I want to say this to everybody listening and watching. The reason that was happening, what you all just saw, and I know you felt it, was because it's this thing about when you're in the beginning, and you're learning and finding. I call it the Helen Keller method, finding your
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
And I know you're a big champion of intuition, and I
yeah.
am too. The I words: insight, intuition, instinct. They're all the markers that tell us where the most powerful resource well or fountain, if you will, exists, and it's inside of us. And the reason I think that you were caught right there was because you're at a place now. It's where we're not surprised anymore. We're expectant. The same thing with the cancer diagnosis. You're not surprised because shit happens. But it's also like when someone calls and says, "Hey, you just won the 2019 Book Excellence Award." You're not surprised. My husband and I, when things,
I'm
I remember.
grateful.
Yes, there it is. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This happened to me just recently in September when we got notified that the Power of We Symposium was getting the Jim Award from the United Nations. My husband and I do a dance.
Congratulations.
Thank you, a happy dance, and we were in the middle of our happy dance, and he stopped and he looked at me and he goes, "Honey, you don't seem as excited as you usually are." And I said, "I am. I'm just as excited, even more. But you know what's new? Is that I'm not surprised anymore because I live in a place of expectancy. It's just like, Brian, when you order something from Amazon and they send you that notification and they say your order has shipped and it should be there tomorrow by 9. If you hear the doorbell at 8:52 and you run out there and there's no one there, you're not like, "What the hell?" You look down and you go, "Oh, there's my package." You're not surprised. Why?
Yeah.
Because you expected it.
One of the 5 points that I talked about in my TEDx talk is the last one is there are no rules. Happily expect the unexpected, and that's kind of the way I try to live my life now because I feel like I'm in alignment as I work on myself. I mean, I think if people tell me, what should I do? Just start working on yourself, and you'll be shown the way. And that's kind of what's happened for me. I just follow my gut, and you know, I did all these things initially, like the acting and stuff. I never planned on doing any of this, honestly, but I just kind of followed a little hunch, and one thing led to another, and I just kind of kept feeling alive and empowered doing what I was doing. And when you look back, it's just a whole bunch of different puzzle pieces put together to create me. I just had to unwrap all these different layers that had gotten in the way, or these incorrect things that I had been doing to try to fill the voids of looking outside myself that got in the way and muddied things. And so now I'm the more that I really learn how to love and accept myself, it's coming from inside, and everything else
Mm.
just is it's just icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. Now, thank you, Shelley Dale. You're right. You hit it right on the head. Shelley says he's already decided he will have a great outcome, and so it is. And that is so true. Speaking things into existence, law of attraction, self-fulfilling prophecies, all fall into that line, and it's absolutely true. Now, everybody, pay attention. Sit up. Pay attention. I'm ringing that bell because listen, what it is, no matter what you're doing, whatever your calling is in this world, especially when you know that you're of service to others, we have an obligation every day and we will be tested through opportunities to prove our own theories. So I say this because I know, Brian, but before I get into the spoken word thing, I see you had something you wanted to share.
Yeah, and I can't explain. Well, I know where things have been heading, and I know kind of, how sometimes when you're working on yourself, there's these little bits and pieces you see of who you're going to be as you kind of step into your optimal self, maybe as you
Mhm.
clear out all the clutter. And it's like when I got the diagnosis, and I'm not going to lie, there are times when I'm a little bit nervous and scared. And what is my body going to be like afterwards, after my
Yeah,
prostate's removed, right? But
yeah,
I've had so many blessings from the diagnosis in and of itself. It's taught me to become a better receiver. It's I just I feel like it's honed me to kind of get rid of the stuff that I was doing that might have been kind of time wasters, and I'm just focused on what's really important now. I just feel grateful. It's hard to explain. I feel like I was kind of shoved through this doorway of where I've always been kind of working toward, and there's no finish line, but just getting to, you know what I mean, to really just kind
sure.
of sit in my own self of who I am, and I don't know, how I want to be in this world, and it just kind of happened like that.
I
I don't
absolutely
know,
get it.
and
I
I'm still going to be
absolutely get it.
working and growing until the day I die, but But yeah, so it's been a
Yeah.
blessing.
And see that you keep saying that you keep coming back to that word, and again, I'm hitting the bell. You guys, get your hearts up on the screen. Listen, you hear me say all the time. Now, listen, he is confirming what we know to be true. Get it off your thumb drive and download it directly into your hard drive, so you don't have to keep scopping back and forth, deciding if this is right or not. It is, and what I'm saying is there are no such things as mistakes. They're all blessings and miracles that are in the making. They're on their way. Just like, right now, Brian, I always say to people, my greatest content, I never sit down and try to come up with something. I don't sit
Yeah.
down at my desk and try to come up with a speech topic or what am I going to call this chapter? Or should I, okay, let me, because our
It,
greatest content is found in the life we are currently living.
yeah.
Or or the life we have most recently lived. Life gives you things to share and talk about every single moment.
Yeah.
I don't believe there should be a thing called writer's block, because you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I only write when I feel inspired to, and I'll go hike a lot, and I'll get ideas for blogs or books or whatever. I mean, I just kind of live my life and do what I need to do to stay in a high vibrational state. You know what I mean? Whether it's positive content or nature or whatever, eating better, that kind
oh,
of stuff. That there's so many different things we can do to make it easier for ourselves.
speaking of nature, thank you for the reminder. I have written in my notes to tell you that I absolutely adore your quote that I found out there that says, "Being out in nature reminds me that everything is going to be okay." And I think that's a
Yeah.
great quote for a segue into. I wanted to ask you because you're gonna recite something here for us in a little bit, and I love because I have memes and I know we're content gurus. We really are. And I love that. I'm a wordsmith. You're a wordsmith, and I love that you have like spoken word memes. You do. You
Yeah.
have spoken word ones, and I was like, wow. Now, isn't that an interesting way to do it? Um, and I love it. So why would you at this point take us into it's almost a two or three fold segment here for you. I'm just going to drop it off and let you run with it. Tell us what you mean about being out in nature. What are you connecting with? Why is it get provide you that thing where you know everything's going to be okay? And what are you connecting with when you're out there? Is it higher power? Is it universe? Is it God? What is it for you?
Well, for me, I mean, everybody has probably a different idea of God, and I'm not here to try to tell anybody what version
Nope.
they need to have or in their lives. But for me, it's I believe our true nature is love, and it's a loving energy out there that's kind of I don't know, watching over us or what have you. It's not necessarily someone sitting in a chair judging us. But for nature, I think nature's vibration is just kind of perfection. And so whenever I get out there, it just I don't know, I just feel relaxed. I get reset. I feel centered, and I kind of am able to. I'm especially living in a place out like LA where it's very frenetic and a lot of people. I have to get outside to just kind of get grounded. And so by connecting out there, it just helps me raise my vibration to that which
Right.
is of perfection. And so and plus, you're getting exercise, you're getting a little bit more fresh air. It's just there's so many positives for doing that.
Right. And I agree. That's why we, have things like lake houses or retreats or cabins, or you go to places like you're at, um, is because of that reminder of perfection that it does exist around us because so many people spend all of their energy seeking perfection inside. And I believe that perfection is found just like inside the word imperfection. That's where it is. It's found because if you look at it, I am perfection. I'm perfection.
No matter what
I'm
happens,
I'm
warts and
already
all.
perfect.
Yeah,
I'm
warts and
already
all.
perfect.
Yeah,
That's right. So I want to ask you this. Um, you mentioned earlier, you said when you talked about prostate cancer and um, I have two things. First of all, I want to ask you this real quick. This is a quick one. When you said you stepped away from the family business, and then you mentioned you said the family. This is my own question for my own greedy. I just want to know. And you said you had to sell the business soon
yeah.
after. Did you have to deal with it? Did you deal with any guilt? Like if I had stayed, we could have kept this, and this is everything they worked for. You know what I mean? And was
Yeah.
that? Yeah. So in the end, don't you think that that actually helped you make sure that this worked, what you do today? Because so much was sacrificed.
A little bit. Now, my dad was in insurance, and we had this. It was a golf center. We had a driving range, a retail store, and a nine-hole par three course that he kind of did on the side together, but yet I ran it. And so um, I was lucky. He was okay with it. I mean, just to kind of make his life a little simpler too. So I never really initially I had a little bit of guilt just because I'm kind of a giver, and I know that he knew that it was maybe a good opportunity for me, but um, he just wanted me to be happy ultimately. And
Okay.
so,
Okay.
to be honest with you, I have not looked back once
There
because
you
I
go.
know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, even though
Right.
I've sacrificed financially and I've had to live frugally as I work my way
Forward.
up the chain, if that
Sure.
means, you know what I'm saying.
I do.
But it's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so, and I'm not doing it to make money. I mean, yes, that would be wonderful because I'll be able to do a lot of really more, a lot of cool things with it. But I'm doing it because it's what I feel like I'm supposed to do.
That's right. And that's what I was getting at. The reason I brought that up was not just to be nosy. I heard you out
Yeah, you
there.
can ask me
Uh,
whatever you want.
it was because so many people, Brian, so many people feel like they're not doing what they should be doing, or they can't make a difference unless they quit their full-time corporate, or they feel like it has to be one or the other. And the reason I brought that up is because you lived it, where you know you left one thing, you came into this other one, and it's sight unseen. It's sight unseen, and really believe that that continuum of inspiration, inspiring people, helping people, and the way it goes around with our stories and our experiences, that in the middle is that belief in something you cannot see,
Yeah,
belief in that thing that you have no way to prove it, hence the term faith. And
yeah.
so you did. That's what I was really pushing
I've been
everybody
living on
toward,
faith the last 10 years. Yeah,
and will continue to.
and we'll continue to, absolutely, and I've been, there's so many different versions of success, and I think a lot of us, and me initially too, it's like financial success or certain job title success, but the further along I go, there's so many different ways we can be successful and abundant that doesn't necessarily translate in that way. And I have a lot of abundance in my life, and just synchronicity and amazing experiences. And I just feel really grateful that I've been given the gifts that I have, and the gifts that come through me.
There you go.
You
Ah,
know,
ding. Did you guys hear that? See, again, thank you for confirming yet another thing. See, now we didn't get together and rehearse this. I want you guys to know that from the gate. Clearly, we did not. But again, listen to what he said. And I say that because we got the crossing guard of purpose has to come out and stop traffic right now. He said the things that come through me. Everything you live, every gift you have is brought to you on its way through you. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm going to let it shine. Remember? So, again, there it is. These are key platinum nougats.
and
Seriously. Go ahead.
and it's different for everybody. I mean, not for somebody, it might just be the best teacher that they can be, or the best parent that they can be, the best crossing guard, whatever. As long as it brings them joy, that doesn't matter. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's just what brings you fulfillment. For me, it's just creating, basically.
That's right.
Creating and sharing my experiences and learning how to become more vulnerable and just try to be someone that someone kind of look up to, say, well, if he can do it, I can do it, you know.
Right.
And so it just don't try to feel like it has to be a certain thing. Just let it evolve.
And that's another great point, because a lot of people feel like I've had, oh Lauren, I wish I
You
could do what
can't
you
force
do.
it.
Right. And everybody, there are a lot of people who are misguided because they think in order to influence and change the world, impact people's lives for better, they need to lead with some horror story. And there are no shortage of woe is me stories out there. And
Right.
that's why a lot of people mistakenly consider themselves motivational speakers, because they have that piece. But that's not the motivational piece. The motivational piece are the golden nuggets. As a result of those experiences, I
Yeah.
now know this to be true. And here, take this, and take this free ticket. if you will, because now you don't have to stand in line and purchase your own because
Yeah.
my experience has bought it for you. So here you go. Um, I want to know this. So listen and listen closely to this answer, you guys. Get ready. Get ready. Um, here's the set. Here's the scene. You're sitting down on an airplane, you're buckling up. Someone comes and sits down next to you. They look over and they go, "How you doing? Where you headed?" And you tell them, and they go, "Oh, okay. So what do you do?"
That's it. I still haven't come up with my like 30-second tag, or you know what I mean, whatever that
I
term
do
is.
know
But
what you mean.
I just say I like to create positive content, and and then I'll just kind of like maybe expand a little bit, books, whatever. But
Right.
I
Okay.
don't know. Marketing is not. To call oneself humble is kind of not very humble, but yet I kind of it's getting harder and harder for me to like toot my own horn as I get more and more comfortable with myself. It's really interesting. Um, so I struggle sometimes with the marketing aspect of it.
Uh-huh. That's a good
Initially,
spot.
yeah, earlier on, I would just kind of just throw it in people's faces, just feel not because I was like it was an ego thing. It was just like this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. You know what I mean? But anymore, it's just I'm kind of more chill.
Well, I'm gonna say
But I'm
something
very
here.
proud of what I've done. I'm very proud of what I've
Absolutely.
done, and I wanted
Absolutely.
to get out there, obviously. But yet I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this at this point. You guys, I used to be I'd stumble, get choked up whenever somebody would ask me 2 questions, and I would cringe when I could tell they were coming, but I don't anymore. I don't anymore, and this is new in 2020. This is new. When people
Mm,
ask me now, "Lauren, what do you do?" I just look them square in the eye and I say, "Everything I possibly can to change one
mm,
life at a time."
boom.
Everything I possibly can to change one life at a time because I
Mm,
believe in the promise that where two or more are together, miracles are in the making. And I know
yeah.
that I'm one, so the person I'm talking to could be the other one. The other question that used to get me stuck, and it doesn't anymore, when people say, "Oh, Lauren, what's your why?" I tell them now with no question at all, unequivocally, my why is the why you find at the very end of the word legacy. Because if
Mm,
all I concentrate on is putting that Y on that word so it's complete, it means I have left something here other than my fingerprints and DNA, my story, which
yeah.
will live on after I'm long gone.
Yeah.
So take that one, think about it. Let's get some love up on the screen. And now here we are, 8:50, coming around the bend to the final lap of this
Yeah.
wonderful interview today. And I want you to, Grace, if you would, if I could call on you, put you on the spot, if you don't mind, and ask you to share some spoken word because I love it with
Mm,
the audience. What's coming to
sure.
you today?
I got a few of them that are memorized. I don't have it in front of me, but all right. This is called Almost Me. Chasing a result left me feeling bare. Worthiness questioned. Happiness was rare. Incomplete body, unnatural lull. Focused surface view, colorless and dull. As I searched outside, I would squint to see, always wanting more. That I'm almost me. But then I stopped the chase and listened to my heart, set aside my fears, and played my truest part. Using what I have, trusting it's enough, letting my light shine, clearing out old stuff.
Mm,
Intentions in sync, life clearly in flow. Always been complete. I just didn't know.
mm,
Being my true self, weight began to shed. Forward moving now, no more have to tread. Sun shining brighter, gratitude in stow. No more almost me. I was always whole. Hmm.
love it.
Thank you.
Yay. I need an applause track. Write that down. Got anything else?
Yeah. Can you see your light inside you? It shines both day and night, leading you both near and far, keeping your path in sight. Can you feel your light inside you as it courses through your veins, inspired greatness housed within, to share for all to gain? Can you taste your light inside you? It's flavored sweet and pure. Water, land, and truthful food grant energy and cures. Can you hear your light inside you? as it comes to you in song, guiding you to flow each day, helping you stay strong. Can you touch your light inside you? Compassion, joy, and heat? A tender kiss, a warm embrace, ritual inside you. Hunches, feelings, heartfelt signs, giving life a whole new spin. And will you trust your light inside you? Your gifts, your being, your core. True greatness lay in wait to be shared, enjoyed, and explored.
Wow. Awesome. There we go. They're putting because there's a delay on the stream. So I'm seeing all the comments now from the first piece and
Ah,
everything from beautiful. Robert Brooker in Canada, how are you? Robert wants to know, where is this book of spoken word blessings? Is it being released soon?
thank you. I actually have a bunch of them in my new book, Habits for Success. And I also have a few of them in my second book called Finding Your Voice, and they're all on Amazon.
Finding your voice. Okay. So, and I'm going to ask Brian to,
Thank you, Robert.
yes, thank you, Robert. When he leaves to go, ski down the mountain there, if
I'm
before
not
he
a skier.
me either, to please drop all of the connectors. He has everything. He has a wonderful website. If you head over to his website, you find absolutely everything. It's
Oops.
easy to follow. It's user friendly. So head over to Brian benson.com and check that out now. I want to say this as we get over to this other thing, because this is really important. Another thing, I said earlier, and I don't say that all. I do not compare myself to people, but because usually I'm just telling you, because I know for a fact not many people just go like this. Everybody's got their own way, but I know, like I say to people all the time, if God were to write a book on the relationship that he and I have, it would be Motivation for Dummies, because I don't take credit for anything. I'm serious. The
No,
reason
me
I'm in
neither.
bed, right? Bathroom moments is bathroom moments because I didn't know how to get started. I remember standing there going, "Well, I don't have a green screen. I don't know how to do this." And he said to me, "You got a coffee cup in your hand, you got a robe on, sit down, open your phone up and go live." And you guys remember, for the first year I walked around with the camera. You could count the hairs in my nose. I was so, and then people were like, "Stop walking around. I don't have any more Dramamine left." Stuff like that. So I mean, it wasn't about any perfect time to do anything. And what I'm getting at here is what I say that I see in you that I rarely see in others is that you know the value of digging in the cushions of your life, going through all the junk drawers of your life, and finding all that loose change. And you're
Mm.
you're using it. You do voiceover. I do voiceover. You have a radio show. You use all the things that you've
They're for
always
me to
been
learn
developed
to grow. That's why I'm doing them. I become a better listener. It makes me a better person.
and more well-rounded, right? But a lot of people think that, oh, let me go and get this certification, or oh, let me run to all these events and this, that, and the other, and it's going to magically turn me into this person. When
Ah.
you know what? If you're not doing right with the pennies in your life, whatever is greater than you is not going to bless you with nickels, dimes, quarters, and so forth. Because you know what? There's a reason they say that we're creatures of habit. If
Mm.
what you do in small things is showing what is greater than you, most likely what you'll do in all things. So keep that in mind. And see, isn't it a wonderful thing? Tell them about that as we round this out, about when you have a passion and you're living in purpose, how you can use everything you've ever been in order to become everything you want
Mm.
to be.
That's so well said. You're right. People ask me where should I start? Just start working on you. Do some of the deep diving, and it's not always pleasant, but you'll just start to feel lighter. And the lighter you feel, and the more in balance you become, your intuition comes through stronger. And it's no coincidence, I don't think, that my very first book was on balance, because it taught me how to become aware of what kept me in balance and what threw me out of balance. So going forward, it helps. It's cleaned up my routine. I'm more self-aware. So the more self-aware that you can become, and do those things that allows your intuition to come through, the better off you're going to be.
Mm, there you go. I just
Yeah.
want to say, and I'm keeping it real. Y'all know who I am. You already know clearly. I want to say that I got to ring the other bell. I'm ringing all the bells today, ringing the bells. I need a ward on y'all's asses. That's what I'm doing. I'm saying this because I really want you to know what a blessing you are, and how I invite you to be a permanent fixture within my life. I mean that because I know how rare it is. I know, and people listen to me carefully here. We always are being presented in opportunities to meet and share and invite people into our space every single day. But every now and then, what is greater than you is going to present you with someone that is not just similar, but when you really look closely, you can see that they were cut from the same bolt of cloth, not just coming from the same manufacturer, but they are cut from the same bolt of cloth.
Mm.
Don't miss that, because those are the people that remind you when you need it the most of what you're truly capable of. And I see that in you, and I thank you for that. And I want you
Thank
to
you.
know, I would love for you to come back down the road so you can tell us about how you made it through this thing with this cancer scare
Yeah,
and
thank
all
you.
of the content I know you're going to create, and read some more from your books and everything else. So know that this is a revolving door. You're
Ah,
welcome anytime.
thank you. You do a wonderful job. I'd love to come back anytime. Thank you.
Thank you. This
Yeah.
hour has flown by, and that's what happens when you're soaring. And that's Brian's book, Amazon #1 bestseller and the 29 Book Excellence Award winner. The book is Habits for Success: Inspired Ideas to Help You Soar. Now, if you don't feel your wings sprouting, or you're not sitting there feeling like I'm ready to take off after this hour, then you need to take a closer look at something. And I hope that you get over to his website. G, tell him.
GBrianBenson.com.
There
Brian
you
with an
go.
I. Yeah.
Brian with an I. And check him out. Continue this dialogue. I'm sure he'll
Thank
be
you.
happy, and you'll be happy you did. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your time where you're at. Thank your friends for sharing you with us and letting us borrow you. We
Mm,
are so grateful. And next time, we have much more to dive into. I never did get to the suicide piece, and
mm,
we're off today. I have
yeah.
family that just arrived a few minutes ago. Um,
Enjoy.
we're off because we had a family member uh killed themselves last Saturday. Yeah, we have two funerals this week. Yes.
Sorry.
So we're gonna, I know it's a part of life though, but I want to get back and crack more of the shell on who you are and all that you have to offer. Thank you to all of you all. We couldn't
Thank you
do
for
this
listening,
if we
everybody.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of you, you know what you did today? You remind me that when we come together, I leave a better version of myself. I couldn't do that if you didn't entrust a few of your minutes with me and with my guests. Thank you for all the hearts and support. And G, Brian Benson, thank you for all that you are. Continue
Thanks,
doing
Loren.
what you're doing. Thank you. Have a
Bye.
great one.
You too.
All right. So that was one of the best times I've had in a long time
Mm.
here, you guys. And I just want to thank you. We're getting out of here a minute over, but that's okay. Purpose is on purpose, and we leave when it tells us to. So I will see you guys not tomorrow because we're on the road. I'll be back Monday next week. Symposium.us, the app that takes your cell phone and turns it into a payphone. I'll tell you more about that every day next week as our new sponsor, Symposium.us, shows up for a week of bathrobe moments. I'll see you then. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Continue doing what we're doing. Get out there and love up on everyone you possibly can. But remember, you can't do that. It's not even possible until you first look in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself. God bless you. I'm Loren Michaels Harris. It's been Bathrobe Moments. I'll see you on the front porch Monday morning at 8 a.m. Bye-bye. Okay, Brian, thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah. Thank you. Really nice job.